Hello and welcome back to Joe's Math Tools. In our session today, we are calculating fractions with unlike denominators when we're working with mixed fractions. And in this session, we're going to be converting those mixed fractions into an improper fraction first before we begin our calculations. And if you're ready to see how this is done, let's get started. In our session today, we are going to be calculating the sum of our mixed fractions by first converting our mixed fractions into their improper fraction form. So that's where I will be getting started today. We're going to begin by converting both of our mixed fractions into their improper fraction form. And remember that just in case you're not aware or you remember how to convert those fractions to their improper fraction form, I will also walk you through that step as well. So remember that we're going to multiply our denominator of 3 times our whole number of 4, and then we're going to add their product to our numerator of 2. And all of this will remain over the same denominator of 3. So we have 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 plus 2 is equal to 14, and that'll be 14 thirds. So let's plug our 14 thirds into our equation. And now we're going to convert our second mixed fraction into its improper fraction form. So we have 2 and 5, 6. And we're going to be taking the exact same steps as we did before, multiplying our denominator to our whole number, and then adding our numerator of 5. And that will remain over our same denominator of 6. So we have 6 times 2 is 12, and then 12 plus 5 is equal to 17. And that'll be 17 6. And let's plug that back into our equation as well. And now for this step, we're going to be converting our fractions into their equivalent form. And remember that in our first two videos, we took two different approaches. We did one where we did the cross multiplication and the second one where we did the LCD. And we saw that even with working with either one of these methods, we still arrived at the exact same answer. So you can use whatever method you feel comfortable working with at this stage. For me, I'm going to use the LCD since I kind of like that method a little bit more, and it helps me with not having to do so much reducing of my fractions afterwards. So I'm going to work with the LCD. So I'm finding the LCD, or the lowest common multiple, of my numbers 3 and 6, which are in my denominator. And their LCD will be 6. So I'm going to be converting both of my fractions into a format where they are equivalent and both numbers in the denominator is 6. So let's start there. So we're writing in our denominator of 6. We're writing in our denominator of 6. And I'm going to start with my first fraction. So I know that when I multiply 3 times 2, that equals to 6. So I also multiply 14 times 2, which would equal to 28. And now for my second fraction. And for this fraction, luckily, we won't have to do any conversion since it already has a denominator of 6. And when we have a denominator of 6 for LCD, that just means that we're multiplying 6 times 1, which is equal to 6. And then 17 times 1 would equal to 17, which is why we usually say that the fraction in itself, it doesn't change. So now let's sum our two numbers. In our numerator, we will be summing 28 and 17. And when we add these two numbers together, we will get 45. So we have 45, 6. And now because we do have an improper fraction, remember that we are leaving our answer in its simplest form. So we can either do one of two things. You can make the choice to simplify a fraction first, or you can convert it into its mixed fraction form and then simplify afterwards. But either which way you decide to work out this question or this part of your question, remember that our answer should still be the same. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to convert my fraction into its mixed fraction form by dividing my 6 into 45. And 6 can divide into 4, so 0 times 6 will equal to 0. 4 minus 0 will give us a difference of 4. We'll bring down our 5, changing 4 into 45. 6 divides into 45 7 times. 7 times 6 is equal to 42. And when 45 subtracts 42, we have a difference of 3. So my mixed fraction will be 7 wholes. And then I would have 3 in my numerator, 6 in my denominator. And just like I told you earlier, we are now going to simplify the fractional part by dividing both parts of my fraction by 3. And once we divide 3 by 3, we will get the quotient of 1. And 6 divided by 3 will give us the quotient of 2. So our answer when we converted our mixed fraction into its improper fraction form and then added our numbers, you can see that we still got 7 and 1/2 as our sum. So remember that in these 3 videos, we worked through 3 different methods to work out the exact same fraction, but overall, we still arrived at the same answer, which tells you that once you know your different methods for adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, regardless of the approach that you decide to take, remember that the solution in the end should still be the same. Okay, so I hope this video is very helpful to you. Make sure to get some additional practice in, and I'll see you right here in the next video on Joe's Math Tools, where the aim is always to make math easy.